Good day. I was thinking, what should we call this little segment with the pastor? A few moments with Father Joe? Well, a few moments with Father Joe. Obviously, I'm back after my surgery, my major surgery. And of course, I'm continuing to rehab, if you will, to recover, still following the doctor's orders. As I may have said publicly at Mass, this past weekend, I'm doing well, but stamina is not exactly what it would have been 3, 4, 5 months ago, but that's to be understood, and we continue to work at that. And one thing I am doing every day, without hesitation, without even being asked to do it, is I'm making my bed. So, hope you are too. As I also, you're probably aware of, I'm back in the rotation, if you will. I am now the presider at our 2 weekend liturgies, 4:30 on Saturday and 10:30 a.m. on Sunday, for those who are able to come, who wish to come to Mass physically. And also I'd like to thank Father Vasco, who was our presider at the liturgies for just about the last 2 months, for his ability or his availability to assist us as we prayed together with the community, whether it was in person or continues to be for many through our live streaming capabilities. Life in the parish continues. We are in the midst of a pandemic, and I'm sure it's affected all of us in some way or ways. But life changed in some ways, does continue in the parish. This Thursday coming up, the 10th of September, we're celebrating confirmation with our young people, and that's a great thing for them, something that was postponed from early May. And then in a couple weeks, toward the last 2 weekends of the month of September, we're celebrating First Communion with our children. Stephanie just raised her eyelids because one of the lights sort of blinked a little bit, and she probably thought there was an outage happening or something. But anyways, things are well here in the chapel. But we have First Communion with our children. We're only having 4 or 5 children at one of the 2 Masses, the last weekend and the weekend before that here in September. Faith formation and our sacrament preparation for our children, our youth, continues to this season, this year, and we're doing it all virtually. It'll all be through the use of Zoom, and hopefully everyone in the parish who has children in our parish program, or if you're new to the parish, receive this information. But if you didn't, or if you forgot, please register your child for faith formation classes, K through 10, for the sacraments of First Eucharist, First Reconciliation, Confirmation. This year, however, not that we haven't done this in the past, but we need to have a concerted effort to work together. It's an effort that we ask parents to be a part of, particularly with our young people, K through 5. Although the class session on Zoom will be a small amount of time, 20 minutes, we need to have one of the parents there with the child for that 20-minute session. And then there'll probably be a little homework, draw a picture of God or something like that, that we would ask the parents to work with the child, whether it be after class or within a day or 2 of that session with the K through 5. And with our older people, our older children, certainly they don't need the parents sitting next to them, but to ask the question, what went on in the class today? Their classes will be a little longer. They'll be in the 35, 40-minute range. But again, we need to be on time. You know, if the Zoom session starts at 6:30 or 5:30, whatever time it starts, we need to all be there on time. And we all need to be punctual and working within the parameters of that. We'll soon, you know, there's many other things going on in the parish, and one of them is a book study that Stephanie is coordinating for the parish, and they're going to be using a book by Matt Kelly entitled Rediscover the Saints. If you'd like to be part of that, just give Stephanie a phone call at the office during the week, and she'll work with you about details, how she can get the book to you, what the times will be for the Zoom sessions and the like. We had a staff meeting earlier today, and one of the items that was mentioned at the staff meeting was a committee we have called Works of Mercy. And they're working on some projects. We're not ready to share them with the parish yet because they're still working on the details. But these are some thoughts that they have about how can we keep connected with one another, whether it be people we know in the parish or people who maybe are you know, a little bit away from the parish. They might be in a facility for you know, a nursing home. They might be, you know, in a place like Bishop Hubbard Apartments. How can we keep connected with them in some way or ways? And they'll be putting more information about that and getting it out to the parish in a variety of ways later on, a couple months, month or so. The other thing we talked about at the staff meeting was keeping connected. You know, we're a community, and how do we stay connected? Just any time and every time, but how do we keep even more so during this pandemic? But one of the areas that I felt, and I think the committee or the staff agrees, is we need to continue to increase our connection with people. So whether that's youth, you know, our youth group, so to speak, you know, if you have youth people in particularly high school, but even into college, who might be interested in our youth group, you know, call the parish, get some information, talk to Rachel Collette. The other thing we talked about was specifically an outreach to our collegiates. Something that, again, we probably could do much, much better at. And so you'll be getting some information here in the next week or less. But the question we're going to ask people of the parish, is there a person who's in college in your home? And if there are, we're asking if you wish or if they wish to be connected with the parish for obviously their name, your address, their address, wherever they are. Some of the students are doing college from home. Some are at college. So, you know, where are they residing during their school year, so to speak? We are also asking for maybe a cell phone for them and an email for them, so that if we needed to contact with them, we could do that. So there'll be more information about that. But again, how do we stay connected as a community under the parameters that sometimes are a little bit restrictive for us during this pandemic? You know, every week we have Mass and we have things going on in the parish, and parish activities go on, and so do the bills. And I'm happy to say that the response of the parish has been very good to, you know, sending in envelopes or signing up for electronic giving, or even using text to give to support the parish. And it's wonderful. It's wonderful. We're paying our bills. We're trying to work within the parameters of the monies that are being sent into us. But I encourage you to keep it up. And if you haven't done it, and I've seen this happen in the last couple of weeks, some people say, well, I haven't given it a few weeks. I need to make up those 2 months or 3 months. And they're sending in, you know, an envelope, and their donation reflects their giving for, say, 2 months or so. And please do the same. You know, our bills are not going away, just like yours aren't. If you want to use e-giving, there's information on our website. you can go and click on giving and just follow directions. If that's not possible, just call Stephanie. Stephanie has all the answers. She has all the answers. You may have, or you may be receiving something about what we used to call the Bishop's Appeal. Now it's being called the Diocesan Appeal. It has a little different name, and to be honest with you, the information that's sent out has not been totally clear. It says Diocesan Appeal, and if I was doing that, I would have put something underneath it, formally called the Bishop's Appeal. But it's the same thing. We are not totally running it, really, from the parish. The diocese is running it basically 99.9%. And so you will receive the information from them, and it will be an envelope, and it's a coded envelope to be sent back to the diocese. And the code that's on it somehow, some way, identifies St. Mary's Crescent as the parish that would be credited with your contribution toward the Diocesan Appeal, also known as the Bishop's Appeal. As long as I'm going to be a priest, I'll still probably call it the Bishop's Appeal. I'll probably call it both. But know that it does the same things. It's really about outreach to the people of our diocese. It's about people helping people, and also parishes being helped by the Bishop's Appeal. Right now we're doing this recording of this little sharing with you through a camera and whatever else is needed to do this with a grant. The money came from the diocese. It was free money, so to speak, to help us in this process. Just like the technology and the equipment we use in church for live streaming of the Mass, that came from a grant from the diocese and cost the parish very, very little to install it when all was said and done. 2 months ago, I think it might be now, or something close to it, I shared with the people a little project that I entitled We Care, or I Care. And we asked people to consider giving $1 a person, more if you want it, just to help people in the area. The two areas particularly being our sister parish in Guatemala, and then the two pantries, food pantries, that we usually give food to that's donated to us. And obviously with the pandemic and people not coming to church, understandably so, the food donations are restricted that we receive here in the parish. So we thought that if we could collect this money this way, their ability to buy more product, more food, sometimes is more than just giving them the food. They can sometimes buy more. And so we're doing well with that, and I would ask you if during the next month you'd like to make a donation to that. We certainly appreciate it, because starting in the beginning of October sometime, we're going to parse this money out to the two food pantries and to the sister parish so that they can use it for their needs, locally or obviously in Guatemala. Our parish youth, they went to, about a year and a half ago now, they went to Indianapolis for a National Catholic Conference of Youth. And that is held every 2 years, and they'd like to go. It has a pretty hefty price when everybody goes, or not everybody goes, but when the youths go and the chaperones go. You got to fly out there, you need hotels. Although there are rates on this, it still becomes pricey. Matter of fact, it cost us close to $9,000 when all was said and done last time they went. And a part of that, a good part of it, but not a significant part, was paid through the bottle and can refund collection that they had. Those 5-cent deposits really add up, and they did well. Well, they're trying to do this again during this year and next year, to have these bottle drives that people of the parish can hopefully help them with. There's one this weekend. There's one this weekend coming up, Saturday the 12th, and Sunday the 13th. And they'll be collecting your clean, washed plastic bottles, no beer bottles please, and your cans. And they can be delivered Saturday the 12th of September from 9:30 to 11 o'clock in the morning at the parish garages that are in the parking lot. And then on Sunday morning, they'll be collecting it for an hour from 9:30 till 10:30 in the morning on Sunday the 13th. So put them in a plastic bag, tie them up, and just sort of drop it off to the young people. And remember, we just had a holiday. You might have a lot of extras. Ask your friends, ask your neighbors, hey, can you help the kids over in the parish? Whenever we had this last time, I think it was June or so, the response was very good. And so we hope that this will continue now and in the future. You know, during the summer, although life in a sense, sort of gets more casual and everything, there's a lot of stuff that continues on the parish, in the parish life that we only do during the summer, like outside work on the grounds and everything. And we've had some people here the last 3-4 months or so doing work on the outside. We have our maintenance person, Brian, who always does a great job. We had 2 young people that helped him during the year, or during the 3-4 months. We had Peter Manley and Ethan Connolly. They were most helpful in the day-to-day stuff during the summer with some mowing and other stuff that's done. And then we also have Ron and Carol Sitko, who do some outside work on a regular basis around the church. So we appreciate those. There's an interesting thing coming in October. A video is about to be recorded on the Mass, and the producer, director, the actor is me. It's my thought that we have an understanding of the Mass to some degree, but that's not all of us. Some of us are younger, some of us are older, and we never heard about certain things about the Mass. We may not understand it. And so I'm going to put together a video. It may be in 2 or 3 parts during the next couple of weeks. And we're going to release it at the Cannes Film Festival, and where it's really been there. It's there already, and it's getting great Oscar buzz. So you'll want to watch this. It'll be must-see TV with everybody in your house. The pandemic, it's still here. We know that in some ways the state of New York seemingly has been pretty good in keeping numbers down as to hospitalizations and the like. But I think this doesn't mean it's over. The pandemic didn't move to another state. It might be in other states. But we're also starting to hear that in other parts of the world, the pandemic has resurfaced again. And so we need to continue vigilance. I was talking to a doctor who was pretty much involved in the area with the pandemic, and he agreed that we need to take these precautions. They may seem, they're not used to them, why are we doing this? Well, we're doing it not just for our own good, but for the good of our neighbor. And so we need to continue to wear the mask, okay, to the best of our ability, to remember that. To keep social distancing to the best of our ability. Wash our hands. To avoid large groups. You keep hearing this. Large groups. I loved it when Dr. Fauci said about 4 or 5 days ago, hey, you're going to gather, for a little holiday barbecue. He says, that's fine, but not, hundreds and hundreds of people. He said, again, be careful, even in that small gathering, a little distancing, wear the mask if possible, and that type of thing. And so we need to continue to do this for a while, because really this pandemic ain't over until there's a vaccine. And we certainly continue to pray for one another in this process. We pray for the people who are working on the vaccine. but we also have to pray for patience. This ain't going to be over by Christmas. You know, it'd be nice if that's our Christmas present, but you know, I rather doubt that that's going to be it. Hopefully early next year, mid next year at the latest. But again, patience, we'll see where it all goes. And I really also encourage everybody in the parish and people you know to continue to watch us on the every Sunday via live streaming. You know, it's another way of us coming together. You know, I was out of the parish for close to 2 months, and I watched Mass, like many people do in the parish, through my computer. You know, I went live streaming at 10:30 on a Sunday. And certainly it's not like being there, but it's the next best thing under the circumstances that we're living under. And so I would encourage you to continue to do that. I would encourage you to encourage others. I would encourage you to tell other people that this is happening in this parish. Because I've said this to people and I say, do you know that we live stream our Mass? And they said, no. And I always tell them, here's the website, STMARYSCRESCENT, St. Mary's Crescent.org. And then our website will come up. You just scroll down just a little bit and you'll see Mass on YouTube, and it says, you know, Mass Live or at the present time. And then under it, there's another thing you could click if you're, you know, the next day or 5 hours later, you can't be there at 10:30. It says Mass Archived, and that'll come right up. And the first one you'll see on YouTube is the latest Mass that was recorded. It's one way among, you know, being present to the community that we can be. And so we need to, you know, pray together, stay together, and the like. And then finally, I certainly want to thank you all for your prayers and your cards and, you know, your different kindnesses the past couple of months while I was recuperating from my surgery and the like. Just to make it clear, I'm still recuperating. I take not a significant time, but I take several hours every day to do some of the things that the doctor is asking me to do. And so that takes me a few hours sort of out of the parish, and I'm sure everybody understands. So we continue to pray for one another. We pray for our country and our world as we deal with this pandemic. And hopefully we continue to see ourselves as part of the parish. Even though we might not be here physically, still seeing ourselves as part of the parish and participating in the way or ways that we can as a person, as a family, as a parish. Thank you. I'll be talking again.